everyone, it's Hayes, and in today's video we're going to be discussing whether or not Kagami is a Sentimonster. However, before we proceed, if you've read the show Bible or seen all the leaks and you already in fact know the answer to this question, then I am very, very happy for you. But please, keep it to yourself, I don't actually want to know yet. And secondly, this video is going to contain spoilers for the episode's perfection and emotion. I'm not going to be spoiling absolutely everything in those episodes, but I know some of you are waiting to watch the episodes in chronological order, and if that's the case, I wouldn't watch this video. So, let's get into it. Why do I believe Kagami is a Sentimonster? I don't think there's as much evidence as there is for Adrian being Senti, although some of you like to deny there is any evidence at all.
The first stage is always denial.
But there is some evidence for Kagami being a Sentimonster too, so let's review it. So the first, and in my opinion the most compelling piece of evidence, is Felix gasping at the ring in emotion. So he's pretending to be Adrian, which is just, you know, a normal thing everyone does. Just dress up like your cousin when you're bored, of course, why haven't I thought of that? So he takes Kagami's hand and gasps at the ring, which on the surface level is just bizarre. Why would you gasp at a ring? However, Felix is now the Peacock Miraculous holder, and we know the holder can sense amuks. Now, a lot of people think they can sense Sentimonsters, but that's not actually the case. It's just the amuk they can sense. For example, in Feast, Natalie sensed the amuk which Feast had swallowed. It was just a coincidence that the thing that swallowed it was also a Sentimonster. A lot of people keep saying, oh well, Shadow Daddy, may he rest in peace, should have been able to sense that Cat Noir is a Sentimonster, or Mayura should have, but I think it's pretty clear that if Adrian is a Sentimonster, the amuk is in one of his parents' wedding rings, which he obviously isn't wearing. So because the Peacock Miraculous can't sense the Sentimonster, only the amuk, they'd never know Cat Noir is one. So okay, that's how it works. They sense the amuks, not the Sentimonster. So it seems obvious to me that if Kagami is a Sentimonster, the amuk is in the ring, and Felix senses it and concludes she is one, because my second piece of evidence is he keeps her safe in the episode Emotion. Now, prior to this episode, Kagami and Felix have had very, very little interaction. I believe the only time they really interacted, and even then it wasn't a proper interaction, was in the episode Daddy Aggressed last season, and all they really did was glare at each other. It didn't seem like he saved her in this episode because he's like, oh yeah, she's my best friend, my buddy, I can't be without her, I love her so much. I think he saved her because she's a Sentimonster. He saves Adrian for the same reason, and he also kept Marinette too, but I don't think that's because she's Senti. It's just because Felix knows his cousin wouldn't be able to stop crying if he didn't have Marinette. We know Felix is very sentimental over the Sentimonsters. He apologised to the Strike Back Sentis when Ladybug sent them to the sauna, and he broke down crying when he had to snap the Red Moon and even called them his sister. He quite clearly values Sentimonster life, so even though it seems that Kagami isn't his biggest fan, also seems he's not the biggest fan of Kagami either, he still wanted to save her. But, you know, why else would he save her? I know a lot of you ship him with Kagami, which is fine, you're within your right to ship whoever you want, but in my opinion, neither of them have really exhibited having romantic feelings for the other person. I doubt he saved her out of romantic feelings, or even friendship. Like I said, they've barely spoken to each other before. I feel the only explanation for him saving her is that she is Senti too. The final piece of evidence I have is Miss Tsurugi at the end of Perfection, storming into Gabriel Babes' house and smashing his computer up. I swear to God, this house has turned into some sort of fighting arena this season. We have computer smashing in the office, sponsored WWE fights in the kitchen, and cold storage for all the dead bodies is down in the murder basement. Anyway, Miss Tsurugi specifically is angry about Gabriel akumatizing Kagami, with the Akuma object being her ring. As we all know, in order to usually get an Akuma, you usually have to break the object, and in most episodes this is done with a cataclysm, although that's not always the case. For example, in the episode Stormy Weather, just off the top of my head, the cataclysm is used on the billboards and Ladybug just snaps the umbrella herself, but a lot of times the Akuma is accessed with a cataclysm. So usually, Cat Noir would have had to have cataclysmed Kagami's ring, which according to Felix is where the amuk is, which would have freed the amuk as well, which would have killed Kagami. Well done, Gabriel Babes, what a great job you did there. Like, in my opinion, Miss Tsurugi doesn't seem that mad about Kagami getting akumatized. In my opinion, she's more angry about the Akuma object specifically. Another piece of evidence is actually Kagami's name. In Japanese it means mirror, and even the name she has in the Portuguese dub, which I think is pronounced Kyoko, I'm not sure I'm saying that right, but that also means mirror as well. So maybe it's mirror because she's possibly a mirror image of a child Miss Tsurugi lost, maybe. Plus as well, Kagami mentions in Emotion that she's from a long line of samurai women. Her being Senti would guarantee her gender, and she could be a mirror of perhaps one of her descendants, and Miss Tsurugi created her that way. And adding to all of this, Thomas Astruc tweeted, although I very conveniently cannot find it anymore, but I think some of you saw it as well, that there are 3 Sentimonsters in the show. So Adrian, Felix and Kagami. And just in general, the aggressed, Tsurugis and bourgeois families just seem kind of odd to me. If you remember at the end of Feast, I think it was, we got to see Audrey and Tomoe's reaction to the temple reappearing. I'm not sure what's quite going on between them all yet, and how the bourgeois are playing into this exactly, but it seems obvious to me, since Natalie found the butterfly and peacock Miraculous, that Gabriel and Emily, for whatever reason, let Tomoe use the peacock. Since we don't know yet when it broke, and I don't know if Adrian or Kagami is the older one, and if Adrian is older, then it means someone is potentially dead due to using the broken peacock Miraculous. Emily is the one taking the fall for making Adrian. Felix's dad is also dead, so that leads me to believe he's the one who made Felix with the broken Miraculous, and maybe Kagami's dad is also dead too, but I'm not sure on that. I don't believe he's ever actually been mentioned in the show at all, I believe, but perhaps Tomoe's eyesight has something to do with it. But again, not quite sure on that, since we know with Emily, using a broken Miraculous will actually kind of lead to your death eventually, not make you blind and leave you alone. So perhaps there's a bit more going on. Maybe Kagami is older than Adrian, Kagami was created first, and maybe depending on what Tomoe did, it caused her to go blind at the same time broke the Miraculous. Not quite sure, to be honest, besties. So there you go, that's what I think. That's all the evidence for Kagami being a Sentimonster. But before I end the video, I would just like to say a massive thank you for 21,000 subscribers. I was meant to say it at the end of one of the reaction videos, or one of the commentary videos, and I was so busy on Tuesday with all the filming, plus as well on Wednesday I was going to Edinburgh, so I had to pack as well. I got to see the pandas, by the way. Oh my god, they're amazing. I 100% cried. It was my first time seeing giant pandas. I love pandas. I cried at Edinburgh Zoo, but anyway. It was awesome. Thank you so much, 21,000 subscribers, and I'm sorry for not saying it sooner. It's just been really hectic with PhD and all the episodes and going away, and I'm going away this week as well. Yeah, it's just been everything happening all at once and I haven't been dealing with it well, so I'm sorry for not saying it sooner. But thank you so much, besties, for 21,000 subscribers. Having this channel can be a lot of hard work at times, but it is definitely 100% worth it. So I'd love to know if you think Kagami is a Sentimonster, besties. I know not all of you will buy into the Sentimonster theory, and that is okay if you don't think any of those characters are Sentimonsters who I've just mentioned. That's fine. However, just because besties don't agree with each other doesn't mean that besties are disrespectful. We always respect each other's opinions. So if you don't believe in the Sentimonster theories, that's fine, that's Geechee with me, but please be respectful down in the comments. So I'd love to know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.